Here now to weigh in on this, someone with intimate knowledge of the inner workings and history of the CIA, author and editor of JFK Facts, and veteran journalist Jefferson Morley. Jefferson, thank you so much for giving us some of your time. So the lead up to Nancy there, we saw the results of that Gallup poll.
Yeah.
There are, a portion of Americans who believe that the CIA is involved. Do we know why Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who is so closely connected, why he believes the CIA had a role in assassinating his uncle? Is there specific evidence of that?
There's a lot of evidence of that. I think that Robert Kennedy Jr. is motivated by the belief of his father, who never believed the story that his brother was killed by a lone gunman, and who always suspected CIA and mafia elements were behind his brother's death. And what we've learned in recent years from JFK files that have been released since the 1990s and under both presidents Biden and Trump is that the CIA role around Lee Harvey Oswald was much deeper than anyone knew. We now know that the CIA had a 181-page file on Oswald when Kennedy went to Dallas, 181 pages. And yet they told investigators, we didn't know much about him. We only had minimal information. So what we've learned in recent years is that the official story that this guy came out of nowhere and killed the president for no reason, that story is not true. Lee Harvey Oswald was very well known to senior officials at the CIA in late 1963. Now, what does that mean? That means that we should get all of the records, which is something that Congress intended a long time ago, and which, because of the CIA, we still haven't gotten there. So how can Trump proceed? I mean, he can issue orders, but the CIA is going to push back very hard because they do not want to release this material. What we're looking at now is a lot of documents that have blacked out material, and we're trying to get behind what's blacked out.
Do you think it will ever be known if there is any merit to the many conspiracy theories surrounding JFK's death?
I believe the preponderance of evidence shows that the president was killed by enemies in his own government who had the ability to cover it up and make it look like something else. And what we're seeing with all this secrecy is the CIA itself knows that. And so I think that eventually we will learn that that was the case, that President Kennedy was killed by his enemies, something that, a lot of people around him thought. That's what his widow, Jackie Kennedy, thought. That's what his brother, Bobby Kennedy, thought. That's what Lyndon Johnson thought. So a lot of people suspected that the president was killed by his enemies who had the ability to make it look like something else, like a lone gunman. But the preponderance of evidence points that story is not true, and there's another explanation out there.
Yeah, an event that still certainly haunts American history.
Yeah.
Jefferson Morley, so great to talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you.